Probably the most impactful element of the IP for students is the international experience requirement. Spending a full half year living, studying, and/or working in another culture is extremely beneficial to your academic, personal, and professional development. If you truly take advantage of the opportunities to engage with your host culture, you are more likely to develop certain skills and characteristics such as independence, resilience, creativity, resourcefulness, problem solving, intercultural communication, and the ability to adapt to new and ambiguous situations. Additionally, by participating in multiple study, work, or research abroad programs which focus on your field of study, you will gain a comparative and global view of your major, making you a more well rounded student and future professional. In this section, we will review the different types of international programs as well as the parameters for your 26 weeks abroad. First, the basics. IP students will spend 2 terms abroad, totaling a minimum of 26 weeks, engaged in meaningful study, work, or research activity. Only one of these terms may be a summer program. This means you can go abroad for a summer and a semester, or for 2 semesters, fall or spring. The 2 terms do not necessarily need to be back to back. Some students choose to go abroad more than 2 times, but for the purposes of the IP, you only need to count 2 terms. You should be participating in Georgia Tech sponsored programs, although some exceptions may apply. One wonderful aspect of Georgia Tech is the abundance of international opportunities, including study abroad, international internships, and research abroad. As an IP student, you can choose the best combination of programs for you based on your own unique situation. This means that you can do any combination of study, work, or research abroad as long as your programs meet a few criteria, which we'll discuss later in this section. How do you narrow it down? First, you should take some time to research the various types of opportunities. Then you should be sure to speak with your various advisors to get their input. Now we'll provide an overview of the different types of international opportunities: study abroad, international internships, and research abroad. One type of international opportunity is study abroad. At Georgia Tech, we have well over 100 programs which fall into 2 main categories. Faculty-led programs mainly take place in the summer, although a couple such as the Pacific Program and GT Lorraine run during the regular semester. On these programs, you take courses taught by Georgia Tech faculty and are with a group of Georgia Tech students. The programs vary in length and topic. Some are language immersion programs, some are major specific, and some offer core and/or elective courses which you can use towards your degree requirements. Many of the faculty-led summer programs offer courses which are approved to count towards your IP globally focused coursework. Exchange programs are great options for international planned students, as these allow you to be fully immersed in a foreign university environment. With an exchange, you take courses with local faculty and local students at one of Georgia Tech's many partner universities. You have a lot of flexibility in choosing your courses, and you're able to really get to know your host culture and live like a local. Exchanges generally operate in the fall and spring terms. In both of these cases, you pay tuition to Georgia Tech and earn credits toward your degree. To learn more about study abroad opportunities, you should make an appointment with one of the Education Abroad advisors in the Office of International Education.
Another option is to obtain an international internship or co-op. You can work abroad for a summer or semester while gaining valuable hands-on experience in your field of study. This category can include traditional paid internships, service learning, or non-credit bearing research projects. If you are in the co-op program, it is sometimes possible for your co-op company to allow you to complete your last co-op term at an overseas office. You should work with the Global Internship Advisor to learn more about identifying and applying for these opportunities.
With so many great options to go abroad, how do you select the right combination of programs for you? The answer to this depends on several different factors, such as what are your academic, personal, and professional goals? Which programs work well with your major? Which programs work well with your chosen language? Are there certain locations that lend themselves to your field of study, such as Australia for biology or sustainable energy, Singapore for logistics, Germany for auto manufacturing, Scandinavia for design, or others? What type of experience are you looking for? Do you want to be in more of a group setting, or do you prefer to be autonomous? To what extent do you wish to use your language skills while abroad? Do you want to take your courses in English or in your foreign language? Are there any constraints on when you can go abroad, such as needing to take required courses that are only offered once a year, or needing to take courses in sequence, such as studios? The dates of the programs in relation to the GT calendar and your own obligations, such as summer classes, internships, or co-ops. And finally, would you rather participate in service learning, an internship, or research abroad rather than a traditional study abroad program? By taking time to consider these questions and in speaking with different advisors, you should be able to clarify your goals and identify the best programs to help you meet them.
Start researching your international options well in advance so that you can understand what's available and how to go about applying for different kinds of programs. There are several resources available to help you learn about your international options. For instance, you can look for events such as fairs, open houses, and workshops focused on study abroad and global internships. Utilize online tools such as the Study Abroad website, the IP Recommended Pathways, and CareerBuzz, which has international internship information. Meet with study abroad advisors and/or the Global Internship Advisor to learn about opportunities and processes. And finally, be sure to also seek big picture advice from the IP advisor, your major's IP faculty representative, and your academic advisor. Once you have a clear idea of which program you'd like to pursue, be sure to pay attention to application deadlines and processes. Some may require that you start applying 1 to 2 semesters in advance of the experience itself. On the next couple of slides, we'll take a closer look at the next 2 steps: completing the International Experience Approval Forms and registering for the IP Audit course. These 2 steps ensure that your international experiences are approved to count towards the IP 26-week abroad requirement. Once you have decided on and been accepted to your first international experience, you need to complete the appropriate IP International Experience Approval Form. If your chosen set of experiences is on your major's list of recommended pathways, you will complete the International Experience Declaration Form. If you are interested in a set of experiences not on your major's recommended list, you will complete the International Experience Approval Form and follow the prompts to write a coherency statement connecting your chosen programs. You will be prompted by the IP advisor to complete this form during the semester prior to your period abroad. The time frame to complete the form generally correlates to the Phase 1 registration period associated with the term you will be abroad. For instance, if you're going abroad in the summer or fall, you would usually complete this form in April. If you're going abroad in the spring, you would generally complete the form in November. This form serves a few different purposes and requires a fair bit of time and thought to complete. It asks you to declare your IP language, as well as whether you wish to pursue the language proficiency designation. It also asks that you declare your second anticipated international experience. Although you are not strictly bound to what you put on the form, the exercise of researching programs and selecting 1 or 2 that pair nicely with your first experience is a valuable one, which will save you time and effort later on down the road. To complete this form, you're required to meet with a few different people on campus to discuss your plans and have them approved to count for the IP. You should be sure to set up meetings well in advance of the deadline in order to complete the form on time.
Your final step in ensuring that your terms abroad will count toward the IP is to register for the IP Audit course. A permit for the appropriate course will be given to you after you have submitted your completed International Experience Approval Form to OIE. There are different courses depending on which type of program you're doing, so look for instructions from OIE as to which course to register for. Note that this is not an actual course, nor does it carry tuition or credit. Rather, it simply serves as a flag to the registrar's office and to your advisors that your terms abroad are counting for the IP. Be sure to register for the IP Audit course before the end of the Phase 2 registration associated with your term abroad in order to have the program officially count for the IP.